Governor Maura Healey announced her early education and child care agenda in Malden yesterday called Our Gateway to Pre-K. The agenda includes 4 key components: delivering universal, high-quality preschool access for 4-year-olds by the end of 2026, increasing child care financial assistance eligibility, providing funding in our fiscal year 2025 budget to improve quality and facility costs, and signing an executive order to recognize the essential role of child care.
This new child care initiative builds on the significant progress that was made during the Healey-Driscoll administration's first year in office. As of right now, Gateway to Pre-K is already in place in Springfield and Westfield. Healey will address this initiative as part of her first State of the Commonwealth address tonight, which begins at 7.